Boeing will have to tell federal regulators how it plans to fix safety issues that have plagued its plane since January. After a Boeing 737 MAX plane experienced a door blowout in early January, the Federal Aviation Administration opened investigations into its safety protocols. In late February, the FAA gave Boeing 90 days to come up with a plan for how it plans to address those safety issues, and the deadline for those plans is today. Here's a 24-hour chart of Boeing. The stock is down 0.6%, but in today's session at the open, up 1.5%. This intraday data will be updated better midday. But the takeaway here is that it's unclear, Dave, whether or not this plan will be made public. However, it is expected to outline both safety and training improvements.
Well, we do know this. Mike Whitaker, who's the FAA chief, will speak later today. So whether or not the report is made public, Mike Whitaker has to speak to the American people about the safety or lack thereof, or at least the plan to improve it on Boeing, because it has been an absolute disaster under outgoing CEO Dave Calhoun. Took over in January 2020, and the stock is down 50+% since that day. It was a $329 stock when he took over. It has been incident after incident after incident, most notably this most recent Alaskan Airlines blowout. What they're going to have to do to reassure the American public and investors, it is a long road, and the irony is, as I mentioned, Dave Calhoun is outgoing CEO, so he won't be the person to implement this plan. You would think whomever is hired needs to step right back with the FAA and have an entirely new meeting.
It is pretty dramatic, the stock price, and if we could, we can show that year-to-date chart again. It has been issue after issue, as Dave mentioned, and many of these issues actually even predating the pandemic, with two deadly 737 MAX crashes around the world. So year-to-date, the stock down 30%, moving in the complete opposite direction of the overall stock market, but dramatic in the sense that Boeing is the country's biggest exporter. And around the entire world, there is a duopoly on air carrier manufacturing between Boeing and Airbus. And yet still, what used to be a pinnacle, really an impressive example of how good manufacturing could be of
maybe
Boeing.
The shining example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Certainly no longer the case.
It'll be interesting. I'm not entirely clear. Meanwhile, Saturday, we're going to see their partnership with NASA, if they can get the Starliner to the International Space Station. So they've got other things going on, but it could be exposed to criminal prosecution related to 2018 and 2019 MAX crashes. It's going to be a long, long turnaround for Boeing, and they've been a drag on a lot of the airlines, as we've discussed, who can't get enough new planes made.